And it's a very good good morning to the Gelding. I'm stuck in PM time frame, Gelding. It's terrible, but very good morning to the Gelding on a terrific day for racing at Moonee Valley. Might get a little bit hot, but 30 degrees and sun's got to be good, especially during summer.
Well, Professor, it is January, isn't it? So, this is what we want in January and February. Some nice hot weather. May help with a little bit of rain, but I hope our listeners and yourself have a lovely day, Professor. 35, will you be venturing out, will you?
No, I think I'll probably watch everything at home with the fan on.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be going too far afield today, but I'll be enjoying the warmth because Gelding, I know it's a racing show, but let's turn to the weather just for a second. When you were young and going to school, can you remember when you had to put a jumper on during summer?
No. And you get days of 40 degrees, Professor, back at school.
Continually on end.
Yeah. But then again, if I wore a jumper, some bloke always used to rip it off in British Bulldog, Professor.
Who was that?
I don't know. Might have been some of those bullies from the year above.
Oh, okay. Well, that's one of those problems in the schoolyard.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, Gelding. As I said, races at Moonee Valley today. There's 9 races on the card. There's no feature race, Gelding. There's 8 races where the stakes money is $130,000. And sure enough, one where the stakes money is $75,000. Now, surely they could have rounded it out for the 9 for $130. Surely.
Oh, Professor, aren't they bemusing things? Race committees.
I'd like to be able to ask them why.
You know what? They wouldn't be able to give you a sensible answer, I don't think. 9 races. You used to have 8 races on a program, and they introduced 9 races to betting turnover up, so they get a better return. So I understand that. But why at a race where you're paying, well, what is it, 60% of the prize money?
Yeah. Now, Gelding, I had a look in the fields. I couldn't see the horse that you have an interest in, but there were a couple of races which, given they're up around the 130k, which your trainer likes to run in, I thought we might have been seeing that horse run at Moonee Valley today.
Yeah, Professor. Race 7 kind of springs to mind when I had a look at the fields myself. Yes, we're out. We're having a bit of a break at the moment on Drop the Mic. So it's resuming now. So has come back in, had a 4-week break. So is now kind of back in the fold. So we're hoping probably trialling late February, Professor. And just for the listeners, I know the trainer's got her eye on the Echuca Cup in mid-March, Professor.
Okay. Well, so looking at
the horses got a pretty good record at Echuca with 3 wins.
Yeah, looking at an autumn campaign, are you, Gelding?
Yes, a late autumn campaign, Professor.
All
maybe
right.
a flight up to Sydney or Queensland after that, Professor.
All right, Gelding. The tracks are good for a warning to punters that, given the way the weather is, that should be upgraded probably to a good 3 during the day. The rail's in the true position. Hooray. Gelding, what are your 2 best bets for today's racing?
Yes, Professor. Be careful of the valley. Hot day, true position. Look for the front runners, Professor. Look for them coming.
Yeah, I was going to say, Gelding, you'd want to be on pace today for sure.
Yeah. Look at the early races and look at patterns of racing at Moonee Valley, because Caulfield and Moonee Valley seem to be the race courses where patterns seem to fit. Professor, I'm going mid to late day, so when the temperature will be probably at its hottest. I like race 5, bit of a Moonee Valley specialist, number 2 in Yulon Command, trained by Freedman, ridden by Matty Cartwright, who claims 2 to bring it in from the 61 down to 59. which could be a big help today. Professor, as I said to you last night, this is a horse that's won 4 races, 4 seconds and 2/3 from 16 starts. So you're around about the 25%, Professor. But if we look at it, 4 starts for 3 wins and a second, Professor. So the strike rate at Moonee Valley is 75%. The place, it's 100% at Moonee Valley. So that tipped me into Yulon Command. Just the way that it's Moonee Valley form and over 1,000, jump and run. So hopefully Matty Cartwright can get the horse out from barrier 6, and be in the lead or on pace, and hopefully salute in race 5, Professor.
All right, Gelding. I had a look at that race.
Yes.
The one I like is horse 5, Win Some, which is a terrific name for a horse, Win Some.
Yeah. Kenny Keys down at Cranbourne. Again, 8 starts for 3 wins. It's been roundabout. 1 last start at Pakenham, Professor, over 1,000. So, yeah, I would say that's probably the danger to Yulon Command. I'm just hoping Yulon Command can, it's Moonee Valley form, may hope. I notice Win Some hasn't started at Moonee Valley, Professor.
Yeah, that would be going against it as far as I'm concerned, Gelding. All right, what's your other selection for the day?
Second tip, Professor, is race 7, number 4, Fundraiser, trained by Ben and JD Hayes, to be ridden by Jai McNeil, our leading jockey at the moment. Jai's riding in great form, Melbourne Cup winning jockey. Fundraiser, first start back from the spell, was a nice 4th at Flemington, beaten by 1.5 lengths, Professor, over 1,200. Today jumps up to 1,500, second up, Professor. Fundraiser is a horse that has it has won 1 race first up, but it's had 3 starts second up for a win and 2/3, Professor, and jumps up to a nice distance of 1,500. So I think this gelded son of Helmet, Fundraiser may be a good bet today, Professor. Round about, you'll get round about the $3, $3.50 mark for it. So maybe a nice little each way bet. Second up 100% for a place, 33% for a win, second up.
Well, Gelding, and we hope it is a fundraiser too.
Yes, we do, Professor. But you've got a bit of a danger there for me.
Yeah, a little bit of a danger. Carr and the Mar and Eustace combination, horse 12 unanimous. It's not a unanimous choice between you and I, though.
Oh, Professor, as you know, I like it, and it's a horse that's going to be there. But you can't pick them all when you're giving tips out on a radio show.
No, you can't. You can't, Gelding. You're quite right there, and I'm satisfied to sit with your selection in race 7, definitely.
Lovely. And your tips, Professor?
Yeah, Gelding, I'm going early just simply because of the weather conditions. That may or may not pay off for us, Gelding.
Well, you've been on fire lately, Professor.
I got put out on Wednesday, Gelding.
Oh, well, that's racing, Professor.
It is. That's racing.
It can put you up in the highlights and bring you down very quickly.
It doesn't take long, Gelding.
No.
All right. Race 1, I like, Gelding. Horse number 5, Duchy of Savoy. It's coming out of barrier 2. It's a 3-year-old benchmark 70 race over 1,000 metres. I like the pedigree, Gelding. It's got Schnitzel. It's got a Schnitzel there, and everybody wants a piece of Schnitzel.
Everyone's got to have a Schnitzel, mate. We'll get one next time.
Yeah. Look, the win place ratio is not all that great at the moment. 5 starts for 1 win and 1 placing, which gives it a 20% win rate and a 40% place rate. What I like about it, though, Gelding, is it won at Sandown its last start by 3.5 lengths. It won over the distance. And I did a little bit of homework after watching the film on this, Gelding. This horse ran in a Group 3 the Quisette Stakes and beaten by Gimme Par. Now, if I look at what Gimme Par has done since then, Gimme Par ran in the Group 2 Danehill and ran 4th. So I like that form.
Yep, it's a good horse, Gimme Par, trained by Peter Moonee. So Duchess of Savoy. And
you can get $2.50 and $1.35 at the moment, Gelding. So I like the odds too. The big threat in that race is Unflinching, horse number 1. It's currently odds on, but I'll still stick with my selection. It's ridden by, as you were saying before, leading jockey Jai McNeil. He's in career form, Gelding. 10% win rate for his career, but over the last 50, 18%.
Yep, getting some good rides since he's won that Melbourne Cup, Professor, and will ride most places. So a good, hard-working jockey who knows how to ride. Yeah, we're lucky down here in Melbourne.
We are, Gelding. And the Hawks Trio trainers, they're in career form too, usually train at 16% over their careers, 18% if you don't mind at the moment. So, look, winning form's good form, as I keep saying. So I think Duchy of Savoy might be in with a little bit of a chance to cause a bit of an upset over Unflinching. And my second choice, race 3, horse 1. Why did I pick horse 1? Because, Gelding, it was a good idea.
That was a very good, Professor. A good idea. One of your trainers?
Yes, Gelding. The local trainer, Philip Stokes.
Yes. And a good jockey.
Yeah, Damien Lane, who's a favourite of yours too, Gelding.
Yes, it's a good idea to take them, Professor.
Right now, Phil Stokes, as you pointed out in the warm-up, Gelding, has got 2 runners in this race, and the other one's the favourite, Daggy and Sweet Jr., ridden by Jamie Carr. But I think good idea gives better value for your choice. The other thing, doing the homework, Gelding, good idea ran second in the Pakenham Cup to Smoke and Romans, which is a horse you and I both think highly of.
Yep.
It's
and
one
Jamie
over the
Carr
distance.
Rode.
Yeah,
So
it's one over the distance. This horse likes to run on pace, which we talked about earlier. I think that's what will bring it home at number 1 position today, Gelding. So my 2 tips: race 1, horse 5, Duchy of Savoy; race 3, horse 1, good idea.
Like the tips, Professor. Good idea around about the $384 mark at the moment. So good value for 7 runners only in the field. So only paying first and second. But yeah, I think Phil Stokes might have the Quinella here in this race. And as you said, good idea, even though it hasn't been winning, has been running very well and is not far off the mark. And hopefully with that, Professor, and I'll just say the form that you've been in at the moment, the last couple of weeks, Professor, no one's going to question these tips.
All right, Gelding. Now let's look at the very successful Professor's Parlay, which wasn't very successful last week.
Well, Professor, you're still batting it round about the 70% mark. So
yes, we got two out of the 3 legs, Gelding. Unfortunately, all I've still got is a piece of paper for that. No money in the bank account. But look, let's improve on that today. Let's get 3 from 3. And I think the race leg's the one that usually causes concerns. But your tip of race 5, horse 2, Yulon Command, I think that anchoring the parlay should really get us home. I'm pretty confident about the other 2 legs too, Gelding. We're going to go to the Premier League. My team, Arsenal.
Yeah.
Bottom of the list, Burnley. Burnley only 1 win from 17 matches. A terrible goal difference of -11. Arsenal 6th on the table, 11 wins, everything to play for. So at $1.30 at home, that's good odds. And let's parlay that into the AFLW. We'll go AFLW again, Gelding, because it was good to us last week.
Good to us, yes. And you and Sarah are both in good form with your tipping there.
Yeah, Melbourne to beat St Kilda.
Oh, well, your demons, Professor.
Yeah, no bias there, though, Gelding. It's Melbourne 2 from 2 and a 4th with a points differential of +40. St Kilda 13th and probably finish on the bottom at the end of the year. A measly percentage of 36.3 and a minus 65 point difference over 2 matches. So there's not much to like there. Melbourne are having their first home game for the season, so I think they'll get home. And Gelding, the parlay, paying 3-1.
Beautiful, Professor. The very, 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 very successful Professor parlay. Hopefully we can get that. And hopefully the Melbourne women team's Professor can give you a unique double for you Melbourne supporters this year with a men's flag and also a women's flag.
Yeah, well, that'd be a terrific daily double, wouldn't it, Gelding?
Would be unique, Professor. Would be the first team to do it.
It would be. So that's the goal. And as we spoke to Mick Stanier, he's very confident this year also. So we'll see how they go.
Good stuff.
Yeah, Gelding, Sportsfan Radio, you're once again on the injured bench. Yes. You're on the PUP, unable to participate.
Professor, catching up with people, who were supposed to catch up at Christmas, but, it was all over the place. So you got to get these things in. But, sorry, Professor, I can't make tomorrow, but we'll send some tips through early in the morning for you.
That's terrific. And special guest tomorrow is former Australian female baseball player, Amy McCann, which will be terrific. She'll be talking
fantastic.
She'll be talking about her career, and she'll also be talking about the Melbourne Aces female player who actually pitched an innings in the men's match the other night. The first one.
Yeah, saw that on the news. That was quite interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that's why we've got her on, because I'll be interested to hear her take on how big a thing that is for women's baseball.
Well, I suppose that's
women in baseball.
Yes, women in baseball, but maybe a professor you can bring up, because here we have, like in all the events, separate competitions, with the tennis and all that. Racing is equal. There's no women's races. They compete against the men. Will we see a stage where sport does become ungender-based?
Well, I think we probably will, given how things are developing, Gelding.
Yeah, so, very interesting.
All right, Gelding. Now, just before we go, the people who like this program on our Sportsfan Radio YouTube channel, what we'd ask them to do is 3 things. Number 1, like the podcast. Number 2, forward the podcast so other people can see it. And number 3, subscribe to the channel. They're 3 pretty easy things to do. If you like, if they want us to keep going and keep giving winners.
Yes, well, why not use some of that winnings and that to support the show and support the hosts.
Exactly right, Gelding. All right, until next Saturday, it's good luck.
And good punting.